Police in Eastleigh, Nairobi County, are pursuing two robbers who shot and injured a businessman in Eastleigh.
The businessman was left nursing gunshot injuries before he was robbed of
and made away with, get this,
over 3.9 million shillings.
in an incident that was captured on CCTV.
No negotiation, no new yard, no choice, just movement towards silence and captivity.
Most crime stories start with someone at rock bottom. This one started somewhere completely different, with opportunity, youth, and a plan that looked way too smooth. Esther Wanjiku was a young mother from Dandora, earning a modest income selling second-hand wigs in a friend's shop. Her daughter came from a past high school relationship that didn't last, leaving her to take on single parenting early. She wasn't running from responsibility, she was running towards stability. It just never paid enough. But Frederick Kopo Otieno's story? That was a different road altogether. Frederick, popularly known as Frick, had once been seen as a rising football talent. His goal was clear: go pro, go big, go far. Except the professional contract never happened, and once football didn't pan out, his options shrank fast. The file notes his shift from sports to crime, not because it was his dream, but because everything else felt like dead-end economics. Either construction work, mjengo, or another hustle that didn't promise the kind of lifestyle he wanted. And construction? Not his brand. So he picked the only lane that seemed open at the time. He started small, phone snatching in Nairobi's CBD, then upgraded later to armed robbery, a more structured crime that paid much better than side hustle wages. Enough to party regularly, enough to stand out, enough to be noticed.
That nightlife visibility would eventually throw him back into Esther's orbit. Esther hadn't stopped being a mother. She just hadn't stopped being young either. Reggae nights, friends dragging her to clubs, and the constant chase for extra cash opened the door to sponsor culture. Not in court, not on record, but in Nairobi's nightlife economy. She had already been exposed once in an Eastleigh's WhatsApp group for allegedly draining a sponsor's mobile money account. But with no law enforcement involvement, the club scene remained her network instead of her undoing. So she kept going. Bold decisions become routine when consequences never show up. Until they do. Frick met Esther during one of his usual club nights after losing contact with her since high school. He rekindled the connection quickly, partly because of familiarity. They grew up as neighbors in Huruma Estate, and partly because Esther had grown into someone impossible to overlook. After a night out and a few messages later, they were dating again. She saw support. He saw ambition. Both saw an upgrade phase. Before the showroom trip to Mombasa, there was the robbery that sparked the entire chain reaction. By March 2024, Frederick had shifted his robbery focus to Eastleigh, targeting high-cash business routines. He identified Adan Ali, a cooking oil businessman who regularly deposited his daily sales earnings at a bank inside BBS Mall. Frederick believed intercepting that routine meant intercepting serious money. So on March 30th, 2024, around 3 p.m., he and his getaway driver waited as Ali rode a motorbike towards the bank. Frederick intercepted him, shot him with an illegally rented firearm, and seized his cash bag, escaping approximately 4 million shillings richer.
Police in Eastleigh, Nairobi County, are pursuing two robbers who shot and injured a businessman in Eastleigh.
The businessman was left nursing gunshot injuries before he was robbed of
and made away with, get this,
over 3.9 million shillings.
in an incident that was captured on CCTV.
No formal recovery or public return of that stolen amount was documented. It shocked the Eastleigh business community immediately. It also triggered ballistic tracing later. He didn't know that part yet. That firearm choice, rented from a rogue police source, would become the most critical detail of the entire case, because ballistics would later trace the bullet back to the rented gun, confirming the robbery was planned, not random. This opened an investigative lead that dismantled Frederick's later carjacker claim. Frederick accepted Esther's daughter without hesitation, strengthening trust quickly. With increased income, he gave her jewelry, publicly affirming the relationship. She wore it proudly. He wore the confidence of someone who believed crime was kinder than fate. They both thought the milestone was the car. Actually, it was the setup. What neither of them saw at this point was that the cash they carried into Mombasa wasn't just purchase money. It was the trail that put them in someone else's crosshairs long before they stepped into a showroom. So the last time we saw this crew, they were still living the next level lifestyle. Jewelry shining, cash packed, confidence capped at 100. Then came the trip that changed everything. On April 3rd, 2024, Esther, Frederick and their broker left a car showroom in Mombasa, following 3 men who had convinced them to see a better car yard. The suggestion sounded harmless. The intention wasn't. As soon as they exited the showroom, all 3 were forced into a waiting car. No negotiation, no new yard, no choice. Just movement towards silence and captivity. Once the abduction happened, communication shut down entirely. Their families were left with no verified location, no calls, no confirmed demands, no timeline for release. The case file doesn't reveal the exact holding site. It notes that the group was taken to an undisclosed location that was never publicly named during investigations. Comforting? No. Important? Very. Because it means the crime happened off the public map, outside immediate detection. The key detail investigators relied on wasn't speculation. It was behavior.
Emerged suggesting suspects captured in a viral video robbing a businessman within Nairobi's Eastleigh area have been murdered. Police say they collected 4 bodies of 4 people suspected to have been involved in the robbery with violence incident that led to a public uproar. In the incident, the businessman was left nursing gunshot injuries before he was robbed of over 3.9 million shillings.